Texas state representative. I don't have to tell you whether he's a Republican or a Democrat. You're going to know from this video. Texas state representative Joe Barton dismissed concerns about the Keystone XL pipeline and its possible contribution to climate change by saying that, you know what? The biblical flood that is described in Genesis is evidence that climate change isn't man-made. Now, I know you might not have any idea what I'm talking about, and I would understand why, because the question is, wait a second, what does what's written in a book, the book of Genesis, a so-called sacred text, which does not seem to correlate with anything scientific or historical in many parts, why is that being used in a discussion about the Keystone XL pipeline? I don't get it either, but let's listen to the video and see if we can figure something out.
I was jumping from Texas, Mr. Barton, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't think it's a secret that I'm a proponent and supporter of the Keystone Pipeline, so it's somewhat redundant for me to ask too many questions. So
I agree.
I would point out, though, that people like me that support hydrocarbon development don't deny that the climate is changing. I think you could have an honest difference of opinion on what's causing that change without automatically being either all in that it's all because of mankind or it's all just natural. I think there is a divergence of evidence.
Here we go.
I would point out that if you're a believer in the Bible, one would have to say the Great Flood is an example of climate change. And that certainly wasn't because mankind had overdeveloped hydrocarbon energy.
See, Lewis, there is a, I'm sorry, it's starting over again. What a brilliant point. In the Bible, there's a flood, and at the time, there wasn't overdevelopment of hydrocarbon energy. Therefore, floods and climate change are not at all affected by human activities on Earth. Is that the point he's making?
Yeah, and he's right. You can have different sides of this issue.
Right, but citing the Bible as evidence that science is wrong is not really one of those legitimate sides.
Well, one side relies on no science, and the other one is decades of research by
actual scientists,
tens of thousands of people.
He should not be making decisions for our country, any state, any city, any town, the school committee, anything. Let's assume for a second, though, that he's right, that he has found an example of a flood that is not related to hydrocarbon development. Some forest fires happen naturally. I guess that means that no forest fire was ever started by campfire negligence. Or sinkholes sometimes happen naturally, Lewis. I guess that means that no sinkhole has ever been caused by salt mining, right? According to his logic.
You say whatever you want, Dave, but I bet if you were a sociopathic CEO of an oil company, you'd probably love this guy.
You may be right about that.
Yeah.
Why is it that the people that are in the captain's chairs of our cities, towns, states still don't know the difference between climate and individual weather events? They just don't seem to understand that.
I mean, you have to be willing to do the research and educate yourself on the matter, and a lot of these people don't bother.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Our Indiegogo campaign continues. Please go to our website, davidpakman.com. At the top of the website, as you can see here, there's a bright green banner, Lewis. You click that. You can check out all the comments. You can check out the contributions. You can see all the perks we've lined up for people. Whatever you can contribute to the expansion of the David Pakman Show, the plan is to upgrade the entire broadcast to high definition, which will be useful for so many reasons, including pitching our show to services like Roku and Netflix, etc. Whatever you can contribute, and even if you can only contribute sharing the fundraiser on your Facebook page, we appreciate it. It's important. We need all of your support. We have no big corporate funders. We are doing this from the ground up. It's grassroots. It is not oil company funded. It is not corporate media like in any way in terms of how this program stays on air. Please check out the Indiegogo campaign. Also, you can become a David Pakman Show member by going on davidpakman.com/membership and signing up. You get a bunch of great benefits, plus the satisfaction of knowing you're doing something about the corporate media problem we have in this country.
Very good.
Let's take a break. Coming up next, we will talk about, is Anthony Weiner coming back after tweeting pictures of his penis? Is he really going to try to run again? We'll talk about that, Lewis. Is Lewis concerned? Does this bode well for Lewis's political future? Stay tuned.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.